Welcome to the virtual career fair hosted by the Sustainable Community Aid Network, featuring an interview with Dominique Paris, owner of Ice Bar Jewelry and Domboy. Hi, Dominique. Thank you so much for joining us for the virtual career fair. I'm very happy to have you on here today, and thank you for giving us some of your time for this. So, as we start, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about your passion?
Of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Dominique Paris, and I am an entrepreneur, business owner, and creative based out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So right now I have two businesses. One is called Domboy, which I'm wearing right now. And I also have a jewelry brand called Ice Bar Jewelry as well. And then I do a lot of modeling, styling, and other services as well in the city.
Oh, that's great. What does Domboy do? What is the business all about?
So Domboy is my clothing brand. Domboy is a athletic kind of leisure luxury clothing brand that I've kind of come up with to kind of cater to all individuals that are looking for different pieces that are comfortable and stand out to add to their closet, things that you can repeat and wear and still feel comfortable in for all types of occasions. You could be working out in the apparel, you could be going out in the apparel, traveling, and all those sorts of things.
That's nice. And tell us a bit more about Ice Bar Jewelry then.
Of course, Ice Bar Jewelry is a jewelry line that also is a very luxury, affordable jewelry line that I've kind of come up with to kind of cater to those who are looking for pieces to style outfits for occasions, events, photo shoots, video shoots, sometimes just for marketing and PR. So it kind of works in a way where it's affordable. It looks very amazing on people, very shiny, very beautiful, long lasting. Still yet, like I said, affordable. So young people can purchase, all age groups can purchase, and it's also unisex. So it kind of caters to everyone.
Oh, that's great. You're doing a great job. So, Dominic, now that you're talking about Domboy and Ice Bar Jewelry, how did the idea of both businesses come to you?
So university was a little bit difficult. I was facing some mental health struggles. So things were a little bit hard. And at the time I was just writing down ideas, writing things down to kind of make myself feel better. And work on myself personally. So that's where the idea came. The idea started to become executed in 2019 when I started selling sunglasses and I started working on blank t-shirts with my logo embroidered. I did give some of them away to friends. So then when they wear them, they can kind of market the brands, tell them what it is, what I'm starting. So since then, I have had a few collections of clothing that have been super successful and have sold out, which I'm really proud of. I would say a lot of my success has happened over the pandemic. A lot of people started shopping online and I took advantage of having an e-commerce website. And that's what kind of leads me into my jewelry brand. My jewelry brand, I started mid-pandemic while I was looking for pieces for my own creative shoot that I had going. And I couldn't find anything until I kind of looking into vendors and I realized, okay, like the vendors have the items I want, but no one is selling the items I want. Maybe I should start a brand that can cater to people who want luxury pieces at an affordable price. And so I kind of ran with that. And as soon as I saw an opening for Black Owned Toronto, which was the first ever Canadian Black owned store, I took it up and my items started being sold in that store in Scarborough Town Center. And ever since then, it's been growing significantly. And I've had a lot of opportunities since. It's been pretty cool.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations for all the success you've had so far. That's great.
Thank you very much.
And in combining the two businesses, how does a typical day look for you?
It can be a little bit chaotic sometimes, only because I have two separate brands. I've really considered joining both together, but I'm just still working on figuring out how I want to do that. For now, for both brands, it's likely the same, just different products. So I do wake up, I check my emails every day. I answer my emails. A lot of emails pertain to styling clients or vendors or projects that I'm working on that involve the brand. Sometimes they're sales reports for the store, like the in-store products. Maybe I'm restocking items. So I look at my emails, I kind of go through those. And then if I have any orders, I start packing orders, prepping them for shipment. Typically, I go ahead and ship orders at the end of the day because, of course, I'm super busy. So I do a lot of things. The end of the day is my rest time. So I'm able to actually go out, leave the house and do those things. For the most part, it's always going to start with emailing, and then I work on marketing throughout the day for all platforms, and then packing and prepping packages and then shipping them out at the end of the day. So right now, that's kind of what my days have been looking like. They've been starting to kind of change because now I'm receiving opportunities for styling. So sometimes styling requires me to go in person with products where maybe the model or the artist requires pieces for their project. And I kind of surveillance what's going on, take content footage, which also helps with marketing.
Oh, that's great. That's a busy day you have.
Yes.
Wow, wow. And over the years, like especially with running Domboy, which you've been running for a few years, and now with Ice Bar Jewelry, what are some
Yeah.
of the challenges that you've had to face or overcome, especially at the beginning?
I would say a lack of resources for people of color. There's not much resources. Well, now I can say there's a lot more opportunities. However, when I had started prior to the pandemic, there wasn't a lot going on for young Black aspiring business owners. It was very difficult to find funding. Funding was only provided for people with business plans and, you know, had the investment to do those types of things, and I didn't. I was working with my own hard-earned money. Getting samples was really challenging. It can be very expensive to buy samples overseas because of shipping, duties, and customs. I would say marketing as well. Marketing was very challenging and it's still very challenging. I'm still learning how to market brands, how to kind of grab the audience, how to, you know, turn leads into actual sales and kind of grow from there. I would say marketing is extremely challenging still to this day, as I still always try to learn and educate myself on what's kind of out there and opportunities and different tips and tricks for different types of brands as well, because it's not going to always be the same for both. So it's very direct to what you're selling and the audience that you're catering to. However, resources can be very challenging, finding help. I do a lot of things by myself. You know, I'm the accountant, I'm the model, you know, I'm the merchandiser, I'm the stocker, I'm packing orders, I'm doing everything. So lack of help is a big thing as well, especially when you don't have funding to hire. So I would say that's been challenging so far.
Yeah, that's really what we have observed as well, and that's why we came up
Mm-hmm.
with the project with this with Scan and the project where we want to sort of match Black business owners with youths as well, because we could
Mm-hmm.
actually see that we've come to notice that you have lots of small business owners that don't have these resources that you're talking about. But on the other hand, what are some of the things you've enjoyed the most in the course of running your businesses?
I really loved running a business, although it can be super chaos. It's something that I would devote my entire life doing for myself because for me, I kind of think of future. I think of building my community, offering resources to young people in my community and kind of funding, starting nonprofit organizations with some of the funding as well. I love being in control of the creative side of things as well. I'm very creative, so I always have ideas that I would love to run with, and I can because it's my brand. I love receiving input. Feedback from clients and customers has been very helpful, helping me kind of figure out what works best with my customers and what they're looking for, what they're excited for. It helps with marketing because marketing is hard, but definitely having full control over everything, foreseeing all the projects that I've been working on and just seeing how things come together when I have sample and then I have the final pieces and then I have the shipment itself of stock. It's really exciting as well. So you just feel very proud of yourself, although it can be a little bit chaotic. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into it because it's yours.
It's really great. Yeah, I can relate. I think seeing the fruits of what you're doing is definitely encouraging to keep on pushing on. That's really great.
Exactly.
Like earlier on, you were talking about like growing some of the successes that you've had over the years. With all of that happening with both of your businesses, are there specific projects you're working on at the moment, or specific products or partnerships that you're working on?
I am working to gain more support from partners, looking to work with other brands, to collaborate with other local brands as well. I feel like it's very important to team up with other people in the same position as you to help each other. You can kind of network and grow that way as well. At this time, I'm looking for new products for the fall. So I am working on sampling pieces for my clothing brand and then finding new metals and options for my jewelry. I have had some requests for certain pieces, so I'm kind of looking out there to find the best vendor that I can work with to kind of provide those pieces and options. I am currently selling some of my items actually in New York currently, and they are on display for PR relations. So in the event celebrities, models, stylists want to use pieces for any projects, it helps with me and my marketing as well, and kind of growing an audience. So I'm working on that also. So I'm just trying to get my foot out there. It can be, like I said, challenging, but it's definitely something everyone can do if they just put their foot forward and do it. It's just dedication for the most part and discipline.
Dedication and discipline. Yeah, that actually leads me to the next question I wanted to ask you, which is, what are some of the qualities that you think have brought you this far? You just spoke about dedication and discipline.
Yeah, definitely discipline. Sometimes you're not always motivated to do something. However, that's when discipline steps in and you know that you have to do these things to get to where you want to be. Setting goals for yourself is very important because these goals ultimately will get you to where you need to be. And when you finally achieve those goals, you have to have other goals lined up. You can't achieve goals and that's it. You always have to have goals coming back to back to back. So I would say that that's very important as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I think we definitely running a business, especially two businesses like you're doing, must take a lot of discipline and a lot of planning.
Effort too.
Yeah. Now, let's say there's a young person listening to us who would like to have a business like what you're having. What advice are you going to give him or her?
I would definitely focus on getting a booklet and writing down all of your ideas. I think it's very important for you to kind of know what you want. And that involves definitely creating a bubble of all your ideas, what you're trying to achieve. Is very important. So that's how I started. I had a booklet full of all my ideas. They were a little bit unorganized at first, but it kind of brought me to a place of understanding to know what I wanted from all of this. Like, what do I want in the end? What is the end goal of me starting these brands? So I know personally for myself, if you are going to start anything of your own, you should always consider giving back. And that should always be the end goal. Because I find that in life, when you give, you always receive. And it will just be a beautiful, positive cycle of growth for you and the people you're giving back to. So I find that starting with the booklet with your ideas is very important. Always start a social media page. Social media is the best way to get your brands out there. You can see people on TikTok blowing up in seconds. It could be you. It's honestly anybody. Anybody is capable of this. And I feel like it can be hard as a person of color with resources and maybe having the same type of support as other business owners, but it's there and there's a community out there that will support. And I'm always here to help as well. I am looking to work on providing resources for young people, kind of like tips, tricks, maybe some videos with some additional help free. So I'm working on some stuff for that as well. But I do think that just using your free ability of YouTube, looking at people and how they started, looking at other people's stories, everyone will motivate you to kind of come up with your own way and pave that way. But definitely you don't need to start with any funding. You have to start with the idea and the effort. This funding will always come.
Thank you so much, Dominique, for your time. Thank you for this inspiring exchange. I know there's someone who is going to be encouraged out of this. Thank you.
That's great. No problem. Thanks so much.
I wish you all the best for the future. Bye.
Thanks again. Thanks for having me. Okay, bye.